Hi ladies, it's Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. Are you all getting ready for Thanksgiving? If you're living here in the States, we are getting ready for Thanksgiving. Did you take your turkey out of the freezer and start thawing it? I hope and pray that you did. I remember the first time my husband and I hosted Thanksgiving, we forgot to take, we didn't forget to take the turkey out of the freezer. We just didn't take it out early enough. And I remember calling my mom in an absolute panic, and she kind of talked to me through putting the turkey into the utility room sink and running water over it and hope and pray that it will thaw in time. And it did, and it ended up working out okay. But I've never forgotten to take the turkey out of the oven out of the freezer on Monday and let that bird thaw. So this year we have 2 turkeys. We're gonna roast one, and then one we're gonna put into our smoker and smoke that turkey. So that's gonna be good. We also have ham. We host Thanksgiving every year. My husband is the youngest of 12, so many of his siblings come with their families, and then I have 4 kids, and they all come, well, some of them still live here, but they're here, and some of them bring like significant others or friends that don't have anywhere to go for Thanksgiving, and my parents come, and it's my favorite holiday. I absolutely love Thanksgiving. And I want to wish all of you a very happy Thanksgiving. I know some of you celebrate your Thanksgiving, like in Canada, it's like a month earlier, I believe. And in other places you celebrate at different times. But happy Thanksgiving to all of you. I'm very thankful that you all take the time to watch my videos and leave me comments. It means a lot to me. Please don't forget to hit the like while I'm talking to you and leave me a comment down below. I love when you say hello. So today's video is going to be sharing with you my favorite drugstore products, makeup wise. And I have some favorite products that I purchase again and again. And these are going to be some of those products. They're not necessarily new products to the market, but they're tried and true, loved products by me. And some of them are dupes for higher end products. So I'll also tell you that if that's the case. And right now, there are a million sales going on. I noticed Anastasia is having a sale. I noticed NARS is having a sale. And you could pretty much go to any makeup brand website and they have their Black Friday sales going on. And so it's very, very tempting. But also, it's a good time to shop your own stash and fall back in love with some of your products, or even just try some new drugstore products that you haven't tried before. You don't have to buy high-end products just because they're on sale. I did my whole face today and a lot of days with drugstore makeup, and I really love drugstore makeup. So I want to share with you my tried and true favorites. I have way more than these, but these are the products that I've been using and absolutely loving, and I'm not sure that I talked to you a lot about them in the past. Some of them I have ad nauseum, but some I have not. So I am just going to jump in and get started. Okay, the first product I want to talk to you is a foundation, and it's a drugstore foundation from Maybelline, and it is the 24-hour wear Super Stay Long Wear Foundation. I love this foundation. It wears to me like Estee Lauder Double Wear, but where Double Wear has more of a soft matte finish, this has more of a satin finish, and I feel like it looks better during the day as time goes on. It doesn't budge, so it really does stay put. It's a very long wearing foundation, but when my natural oil kind of breaks through, it doesn't look oily, but it gets a really pretty like satin finish, and I feel like I like it more midday than I do like when I first put it on. And it doesn't leave me oily or greasy by the end of the day. If you're like me, I have an oily T-zone, but it also doesn't dry out my skin and my dry patches, and it doesn't cling to dry skin or anything like that. And I just love this foundation. I've been using it for so long. I used to really like the concealer too, but I have another concealer that I like more than the Super Stay. And this one is from CoverGirl, and it's the True Blend Undercover. It looks like this. It has the striped top, and it has a really nice doe foot applicator that's kind of large. It reminds me of the Shape Tape, and it's sort of a dupe for the Shape Tape in my opinion. I like the creamy Shape Tape from Tarte, and this is creamy like the creamy formula, and that's what it looks like, and it just blends out like a dream, and it does have really good coverage. So if you have to cover like dark circles or something like that, I don't really deal with those a lot. I just like to brighten up the inner corner where I can get some shadows, and it does a really good job. And it also just kind of stays hydrating during the day. It doesn't dry out my under eye area, and I really like this concealer a lot. I feel like when it first came out, a lot of people were talking about it, and now it's kind of fallen to the wayside, like a lot of these products, because on YouTube, people like to talk about the newest releases, which I think is important too, but it's really important to not forget about the old ones too, because sometimes they're still on the market and still selling all the time for a reason, because the average person who tries these products loves them and knows that they're really good. So this is a really good concealer. And since we're talking about base, I want to talk to you about some finishing powders. I have loved the Makeup Forever HD setting powder for a really long time, and mine is in the shade Vanilla 1.0. I think they may have repackaged it, but I know you can still get it. And I love this powder because it's super silky. It's truly translucent. So when I apply it, it looks like this, but then it just disappears, and it feels so silky, but very, very lightweight. It doesn't feel like you have a setting powder on, and it just adds a little bit of silkiness, and it makes your skin feel so soft. And because it's HD, when you take photos, you won't get any flashback, and I like that, especially this time of year in the fall and winter when we have the holidays and we're all taking a lot of photos. It won't draw attention, like the flash won't flash off of your concealer in your under eye or anything like that. So it's a really great setting powder. e.l.f. makes one that is a close dupe, and the difference between mine is that I have the HD for Makeup Forever in Vanilla, and it's like truly translucent, and the e.l.f. I got in Lumiere, I believe, and it has a slightly pink finish, and I like that too, but I probably should get it in the translucent. I think I would like it even more, because I don't really like my powder to add anything to my skin. I want it just to only set my foundation or my under eye, and sometimes I don't even use it on my foundation, especially that I'm getting older. I don't feel that I need to, but sometimes I like to use a little bit of setting powder, like just kind of like around my nose where I get a little bit oily during the day, and I like to set my concealer, and I like to use an HD or a powder that doesn't leave any cast or residue behind. And this is also high definition, so you won't get flashback in photos, and it's a fraction of the cost of the Makeup Forever, and they're both really, really good powders. I know a lot of people talk about the e.l.f. Halo Glow since it came out, and I love that one too, but this one I like for the HD benefits, and you know, I just really like this one too. Okay, the next product is a dupe for a high-end product that I think has been discontinued, but it comes out periodically from Lancome. Like they re-release it every now and then. And this is the Hypnose eyeshadow palette, and it's in Terra de Cien. And this is what it looks like. It's a very warm toned palette, and it's really beautiful. And this is the second one. When I saw that it was being I saw that it was discontinued, and I thought it was never going to come back, and then it did. So I picked up another one because I used up all of this shade and like all of this shade and a lot of that shade in my first palette. So I do have this one for a backup. But since then, Milani released their gilded palettes, their gilded minis a couple of years ago. And this one is called Champagne Problems, and it looks like this. And it does have some different shades. Like this one does not have that gold shade, but it does have a lot of shades that are very, very similar, and you can really achieve a very similar look. And it's a mix of mattes and shimmers, just like this one is. Like I told you, I used up this shade in my first palette. It's so pretty. And this one has a very similar shade to that. And so this is the e.l.f., this shade, and this one is the Lancome. And although they look a little bit different in the palette, they look just the same when they're on. I'll show you some of the mattes. This is like a rusty matte, which is really beautiful. And there's a rusty matte in this one as well. And it's a little bit lighter. So this is the Lancome and this is the Gilded Mini. But as you can see, although the color is slightly different, when it's on your eye, you can't tell the difference. And then you have like your pretty kind of like brownish shade. It's slightly different in the Lancome. It's more cool toned. And in this one, it's just a warmer brown. But again, you can achieve the same sort of look. And then they both have like this slightly kind of soft brown, kind of peachy shade that I like to use as a transition color. So it's a really good product. If you missed out on this one, or if you loved this one in the past and you weren't able to get your hands on it, I think you'd be just as happy with the Milani. And honestly, they wear exactly the same too. As long as you wear an eyelid primer on your lid, they will look essentially the same when they're on. Okay, and another Lancome product. I have a lipstick that I absolutely love from Lancome, and I've purchased this several times over the past 5 years, and it's from the La Absolue range, and it is called Vintage Ruby. That sounds like it's going to be red, but you'll see it's not. And this is what the package looks like. It's really pretty. Every now and then they re-release this, but it was like a limited edition. I think you can still find it, but it's hard to find now. And so this is the one that I currently have and I really love. And it's just a cream formula. It's not a matte, and it has like just a creaminess to it. And it doesn't have any shimmer or anything like that. L'Oreal released a range of products a couple of years ago, and I swatched every color on my channel when these first came out because I was obsessed with them. I love the formula, and this formula is almost exactly the same as the Lancome formula in this particular range. And it makes sense because L'Oreal owns Lancome. They're like kind of one and the same, except this is the drugstore product and this is the high-end product, and this is called New Intense, and it's like this. So the bullet looks different than like some of the other colors that you've seen from Lancome that I always show you, like my peach fuzz or mauve. This is a cream formula, not a shimmer, and it's slightly different in shade. But honestly, when I'm wearing them, you can't really tell at all. And I'm wearing New Intense right now. And it's a dupe for Vintage Ruby in formula. It's like identical. And I love this particular range. I love the way they feel on my lips. I love that they have that staying power of like a matte, and that they don't have any shimmer, but they're just a really good cream. They kind of like hold onto your lips. They're not overly waxy, but they are waxy enough to kind of hang on, and you don't have to touch them up a whole bunch. They wear off very nicely, and I really love these a lot. There's a lot of different shades that you can get in the L'Oreal formula, and these are really, really good. I'd recommend that you try them if you haven't. I have a blush here that I love, that I've purchased again and again, and it's one of the baked blushes from Milani. They actually bake these like on Italian tiles. It's really interesting how they make these baked products, but this is the shade that I absolutely love, and this is a dupe from a discontinued brand, Becca, unfortunately, and they had a shade called Flower Child that I loved. It just brightened up my face. It was like the perfect pinky shade that had some gold frost finish to it that just looked so becoming on my cheeks. And when Becca went under, I was unprepared and I didn't get a backup of it, and I used it up, and I have just been kind of searching, and I found this, and I found this on the site Temptalia, and it's a site that talks about makeup. It tells you all about the colors and shades that are in makeup, and if you love one product, another product that is very similar. And so I put Flower Child in the search, and this came up as a dupe for it. And I absolutely love it. It's my favorite baked blush. Everybody talks about Luminoso, and I'm just like, Luminoso, who? I love this one. And I also love Peach Bellini more than I love Luminoso. But this is called Dolce Pink, and it just has the prettiest finish. It's like a pink, and it has a little bit of silver and a little bit of like a champagne shift to it. And it's so beautiful. You don't even have to wear it with a highlighter because it gives you that perfect glow. These are really long wearing, just as long wearing as my Becca Flower Child, just as long wearing as the MAC mineralized powder blushes like these. And those are some of the best that I've ever tried. And Milani just, I hope they never discontinue these. I feel like people need to keep talking about these on YouTube. Everybody has been for years and years since these came out, but we have to keep the momentum going, because if people don't continue to buy these, they might discontinue them, and that will break my heart. And if you go to the Milani website, there's more shades than you'll find at your drugstore or superstore. And I have so many of these, and I absolutely love them, but Dolce Pink is my favorite. Okay, I guess I'll stop this here. I do have more products, so I can do a part two, but these are some of my favorite tried and true drugstore makeup products that I absolutely love. I have all drugstore makeup on today, and I'm very happy with this look. I've been playing around with my makeup to decide what kind of look I want to do on Thanksgiving, and I think this is it. I love this eyeshadow. It's just like a little bit of purple in the outer corner, a little bit of a frosty shade on the inside, a little bit of peachy in the transition. So anyway, thank you for spending some time with me. Let me know what your favorite drugstore product is down in the comments. And are you going to shop any of the sales that are going on for Black Friday from all the like higher end brands? I did put a limit on myself. I did purchase something from Lancome. They had 30% off Friends and Family. It might still be going on. And I did put a little community post out over the weekend to let you know about that sale and show you what I purchased. But I think that's it for me, and I'm just gonna shop my stash. So thank you for spending some time with me. I hope that you all have a very blessed and beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.